Happy to see that you're here not to trouble and stuff.
By all means, well, sorry, Your Grace.
My good squire Drust had set his vigil and fulfilled his obligations.
Next, she calls the murder of the chivalry.
Noble sirs and masters, is it still your opinion that Captain Drust be numbered amongst your order of the chivalry today?
Her Majesty's called for Captain Drust Mac Arilith.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can be me now. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
That's fine. Your oath means your obligation. Make sure that the deeds are your first thought.
Are there those that will speak for you on this day? Is there a master of Laurel? I who speak for you on this day? You're up, Carolyn. Sorry. Is there a member of the companion of the Laurel that would speak for this man?
Carolyn, mistress of the Order of the Laurel and Baroness of the Barony of Wendover, would speak to this man. Thank you. I have known Drust for many, many years. Refused to announce much if the lady never revealed her age. And I thought well and long on what I might speak to you about this man's art. in speaking with said dental, inevitably you will get to hear the great and wondrous feats that have occurred on such a day. You will hear perhaps how Drust lost a bottle of port and got put out in the rain. You may hear how a friend took on a mighty army by themselves. You might hear how on the battlefield a new member of the melee team had gone through to find himself in enemy territory all by themselves simply because they were told to break through. You might hear how a friend had valiantly, while fighting, took on a tree. You may hear of how a small and mighty warrior took on the Doomchalks by taunting them. You may hear yet more marvelous stories than yet I have heard. But this man's true talent, his true art, does in fact lie in his ability to tell a tale. And upon each telling of a tale, the story becomes grander. The feats more magnificent. Until you have nothing but love for the story that he is telling, for those involved. And it is a wonder and a great thing to be not only his friend, but to get the opportunity to be a part of those tales. So with that, Your Majesty, I commend to you this man, and I ask that you make him a member of the Order of Chivalry, as he is well deserving, and he will tell you many tales to help prove that.
They're a member of the Order of the Pelican who wishes to speak for Drust.
Hi, Your Majesty. I will speak to this man. Drust has been instrumental in many things at many levels. His service has great renown. He has been part of the founding members of Fed Militia. He's gotten that group organized, motivated, on the field, and ready to fight. Not to mention their regular meetings. I have seen him build structures for his campaigns to make both their health and safety better within their camp. He has served me as an XO on the battlefield while I was in commander on the 5th Army. He has served me while I was deputy mayor of martial activities by helping anytime he had crossed the field. He would suddenly be involved in an hour's worth of work, never complain, and make the work fun for all of us. I also remember a time when we were tearing the field down after everything was over. He and his knife got American his service goes from the high to the almost unseen but greatly appreciated. Because so many times he's beat up to help a lady who was overburdened and take her burden off. This is my inspiration. This is the man that I use as a metric for how to be a better parent. And I would highly recommend him to our orders.
They're a member of the Order of Chivalry who wishes to speak for Drust.
Yeah, there is. I'm Sir Donis. I'm a member of the Order of Chivalry and a member of the Society. For as long as His Majesty sees fit, I'm also the General of the Army. I remember to this day the first time I fought pickups against Drust in Baron Wars. And way back when, I remember thinking, this guy has got to be the worst fighter I've ever seen. He wasn't big, he wasn't particularly strong or overpowering, he was slow, he had it all. But he had a huge smile on his face, and he was loving where he was. He was loving what he was doing. And then 5-6 years later, another Baron Wars, we're fighting pickups. He's still terrible. Everything worked. Yeah, hit by accident. And he was still the same big smile, still loving where he was and what he was doing. And he never, ever, ever lost that. anything that he wanted to learn, farther than I've gone for events on many occasions. It's embarrassing for me, honestly. And the measure of striving against a goal really is how far do you have to go, what difficulties do you have to overcome. His path and his struggles in knighthood is more worthy than mine, because he's overcome more than I did, he's struggled harder than I did, and he's come further than I have. For the smile that has never left and his obstinate refusal to give up, I am absolutely commended to you.
Majesty's, my good brother, Vargas, could not make it, and he was also asked to speak. With your permission, may I read in his verse? Under the most noble majesties of the great populace of Nibiron, you I, Sir Vargas, Dilion, Ibn Shin, Zu, Ibn Dalmar, and two Varieties, Ibn Mundluf, Sarkis, my father. Ibn Dur. Due to warm greetings, due to previous inclement weather and schedule changes, he was not able to make it today and asked me if I could read it in words for him. When Drust asked me to speak for him on behalf of the interests of Chivalry, I was once honored, humbled, and requested to do so. I was tickled that he had tickled to speak on behalf of this young man. But suddenly I found myself in a quandary without words for what can I say about this man's chivalry that has not already been said, or heavens. All who he has encountered upon the field and off, I will do my best. Your Majesty, dealing before you is a right humble, noble, and honorable man, stout of heart, fearless in the eyes of his enemies. He is courageous, important in the face of sudden challenges, both difficult and great skill. He kneels before you, a man whose willingness, nay, eagerness to serve in any capacity is worthy of any mistress or master, of the publican of heart. As evidenced by the time when my family and lands were in turmoil and need, he selfishly offered the services to my household and land. I know without a doubt that if called upon, he would travel many hours out of his way, out of his day, to lend his metal and arm without expectation or anticipation, just with a willingness and to help someone. Majesty, dealing before you, a prowess with a full arm is among the best I've ever seen. So much so that he chooses to fight in tournaments with it. No small feat, be sure. Your Gracious Majesty, here before you, a man that I have known for the right proper time and called friend. So I'm humbled. I humbly ask the mighty dragon ruler that you consider my counsel and know that this is the right proper thing, and wish that elevate him to the noble order of the Chivalry. Let's do our Rodrigo, Vargas, Daniel.
There a member of the Order of the Rose who wishes to speak for Drust.
Yes. I am Runa. And I would love to talk about this guy.
Please.
Good evening. The gentlemen that you see kneel before the throne are knights of the society of the creative anachronism. Knights of the society. That's what we call them. I would say 100% of these men are knights in society. Not only do they show their chivalry and honor when they are dressed in our garb, but they also show it in their everyday lives. Here I go, guys. Just one. This guy right here has it in spades. No matter where he is or what he's doing, he doesn't have to be dressed in garb. He doesn't have to be Drust. He can be Daniel. In his heart, he is still a knight. He has been a knight in my eyes for quite a long time. He's a pretty good blacksmith, too. Your Majesties, thank you for allowing me to speak to these people and the whole honor of the Georgia Time.
I believe His Grace Ike Brander on to the left.
As some of you know, I am Duke Ike Brander, Solgiati. The king and queen, most recently, not today, but a few days ago, asked me to be brief, and therefore I shall be brief. I hold in my hand a ring that I have made. This ring is a symbol of the bond of chivalry and friendship that I hold with the vigilant candidate here seated before you. If you so choose, I would love for you to give that to him. And I would tell everyone here that in the future, as this man who will be knight, Drust, if at any time you feel that his chivalry is not what it should be, then you are also saying that my chivalry is incorrect and not appropriate, and therefore you should seek me out and speak to me about my honor and chivalry, for it is the same. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
It's a lot of power. Remember his words. Drust, right mindful of your prowess on the field and responsive to the wishes of your peers, your mind committed to you. Know that to wear the belt and chain of a knight is to hold sacred trust, that the obligation of knighthood will demand your efforts every moment of your life. A knight of the society must be respectful of all religions, never offending the faith of another. A knight must respect all of those who are weak or defenseless, whether because of age, infirmity, poverty, or vow, to be steadfast and defend them. A knight must love his kingdom, his province, and fulfill most faithfully his feudal duties to his baron and his king. His word must be dependable beyond doubt or question. He must never flee from the face of his foes. He must be generous to all, and as always and everywhere, he must be the champion of the right and the good. The laws of the society and the customs of the kingdom require that a knight be proud, as you have demonstrated upon the field. That a knight be courteous, as you have shown yourself to be, and these noble gentlemen and ladies have attested to. And that a knight be loyal to his kingdom and his society. Do you then desire to accept the burden of knighthood and swear fealty to the crown?
Aye.
Swear fealty to the crown.
I hereby swear fealty and do homage to the crown of the Middle Kingdom, to ever be a good knight and true,
Reverent and generous.
reverent and generous, shield of the weak, obedient to my liege lord, courteous, and foremost in battle, courteous at all times, champion of the right and the good. Thus swear I, Drust Mac Arilith.
This do we hear, we shall never forget, nor fail to reward that which is given. Fealty with love, service with honor, and with virtue.